Welcome back, guys. In this session, we'll be focusing on another type of electrical circuits, and we can claim that these circuits are one of the most useful ones in the whole electrical diagrams. The circuit is called forward reverse. Now guys, forward and reverse are actually two modes that we have for motors, for example, for three-phase motors. And in this session, we basically want to see how we can change in between these two modes. For example, let's say we want to convert a forward three-phase motor into a reverse one. To do so, two of the three-phase lines should be displaced. Alright, let me elaborate on this. Let's say, for example, L1 is connected to U1, L2 to V1, and L3 to W1. In this case, the motor would be forward. Now, if two of the lines, as I said, like L3 and L2 were to change places, the forward motor would be converted into a reverse one. Now, there's a question here, guys. What's the role of the contactors? I mean, how exactly they would function? Well, to understand this or to find out, let's do something. I'm going to connect L1 here to L1, then L2 to L2, and L3 to L3. And let's just assume that for now we are not using a bimetal. In this case, T1 would be connected to U1, then T2 to V1, and at the end T3 to W1. And this would be the wiring system for a forward motor with contactor, or I guess it's better to say this is how a contactor works in a forward motor. Alright, let me write down F here so that I won't forget, and move on to the next. Let's see how contactors work in the second type of the motor, like the reverse type. So, L1 would be connected to L1 again. L2 would be connected to L2. And line number 3 would be connected to terminal number 3 or L3. But what we are going to do next would be different from what we did before in the last type of motor. Different how? Let's see. T1 would be connected to T1. Then T2 would be connected to T3. Okay. And obviously T3 would be connected to T2. Now, in this case, if the motor started working, if the contactor started working, the motor would be reversed. By the way, guys, remember, we can't have these two types of contactors working simultaneously. In other words, we can only use one of them each time, either the forward one or the reverse one. And overall, guys, this is what we call the forward reverse three-phase motor power circuit. And well, by the way, we also have a control circuit for these types of motors as well, and we're going to talk about it later on in our course.